Hey everyone, this is Peter McPhail with Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Thanks for joining me today. I am in the town of Bucksport, Maine. Bucksport was settled in 1763, incorporated in 1792. Today we are going to look at a chalet here in Bucksport, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, on 25 acres of land, has an oversized 2-car garage, very private location. But let's talk a little bit about Bucksport first. And actually, this bench that I'm sitting on is very significant. I actually asked my wife to marry me here just almost a year ago to the date, right on this bench. So very important spot in my life. I love the town of Bucksport. They've got a beautiful waterfront here that you can walk, very scenic. Behind me is the Penobscot Observatory, is the world's largest bridge observatory. And then over here is Fort Knox. That's a very interesting place. If you've ever toured Fort Knox and been up in the observatory, put it in the comments below. Population here in Bucksport is just under 5,000 people. We are 30 minutes to Bangor, 30 minutes to Ellsworth, approximately 4 hours to Boston. So it's just a super location. If you had a boat and you want to get down into Penobscot Bay, you can launch right here on Verona Island and go down through into the bay. It'd be a short boat ride, but just a beautiful town. Sorry guys, I see a good friend of mine. Let's go over to the house and take a look at the chalet. All right, so we've arrived here at the house, guys, and as you could see, we were driving in. You have this nice long winding driveway that heavily wooded with pines in the beginning, and then you come into the front yard of the house. You have maple trees, you have some oak trees scattered around, some birch trees. So extremely private, sits way off the road. And the house was built in 1985. And once we get in here, you're going to see there is a paved circular driveway here. It does have a standing seam metal roof, which is, in my opinion, probably the best roof you can have in the state of Maine, where you get the different seasons and the snowfall and stuff. With the standing seam metal roof, just longevity, great roof to have. The detached garage is 28 by 32, so there's all kinds of room for your vehicles and additional storage space. Right next to the garage, that shed is 12 by 16, so you got more storage space. The house itself is orientated southeast, so when we stand up on the deck there in a few minutes, looking back across the front yard towards the driveway, we're looking southeast, so that sun comes up and kind of swings around the front of the house most of the day. If you like to do gardening here, ample space for gardening, plenty of spots here for both flowers or vegetable gardens, really. And then we do have this walkway here coming up to the house. To me, it looks like stamped concrete. It's in really good shape. And then we have another shed right here. That one looks like it's probably 10 by 12, 10 by 16. And then 2 more small sheds in the back. But let's head inside and take a look, guys. All right, coming into the kitchen here. The kitchen dimensions, 8.5 by 16.5. Granite counters. We have a small bar area here at the end of the kitchen counter. Dishwasher, electric stove and fridge. This floor here is laminate flooring, and at the very end of the kitchen there is a coat closet / pantry closet. I'd say half would be coat, half pantry. This little dining area here overlooking the front yard, this is 8.5 by 11.5. And we do have a little closet here. You could probably keep something, some dishes or whatever you want to store in here off the dining room. And then we circle right into the living room here. So the living room, guys, is 11.5 by 20. So all kinds of space here to put your sectional sofa in, big screen TV. Looking off the side yard here, guys, we have casement windows. And then let's step out on the deck real quick just so I can point something out to you. The deck itself is about 11 by 22. And it is right now, guys, it is a 1:30 in the afternoon. So we're getting, you can see probably 95% of the deck here is covered in sun. So if you enjoy the sun, this is where you'll be in the early afternoon throughout the morning. There is a concrete pad off this side of the house. So if you had some friends visiting with a camper of some sort, they could probably park it right there on that concrete pad. Sitting underneath there's a couple of big maple trees and a big oak tree there. Let's head back in. We'll go upstairs and check the upstairs out. Let's head to the front end of the first floor here. You have almost everything you need on the first floor. The only thing you'd probably have to do, your wash and dryer in the basement. You might have to try to figure a way to get those upstairs if you needed everything on the first floor. So the first floor bedroom here, this is approximately 11.5 by 11.5. And again, that sun is going to come up out front and it's going to set off to this side of the house. So you will get some sun here, but beautiful private yard here, guys. We do have a closet in this room. And then finishing the first floor is the full bathroom. So now we're going to head upstairs and take a look at the upstairs, guys. Look, guys, we get to the top of the stairs. There's a little bit of a landing area here with a closet. And then this space here is 8 foot by 10 foot. Does have the skylight here. It's making a nice spot. Put a comfortable chair in here, a small desk. Great place to read a book or get a little bit of research done on your computer. This bedroom right here is approximately 10 by 16. And what you'll find is there's knee wall storage on both ends of this bedroom. So we pop these open. We have knee wall storage that goes in there quite a ways on both sides. Plus you have this walk-in closet here as well. So all kinds of storage space here. All right, guys, we'll finish the upstairs tour here with a master bedroom. It's not a huge master bedroom. It's 11 by 12, but it does have a knee wall storage, which runs the whole length of this side of the room. So you have 11 feet of knee wall storage. Plus you do have a small closet here, but a kind of a neat feature. You got kids or grandkids, they're going to want to play hide and seek in these knee wall closets, and especially this one here, because we've got the main closet, but there's a door in the back of it that leads to a small space in that knee wall too. Kind of a hidden cubby there. Nice view of the backyard looking at the hardwoods. So let's head down into the basement so you can see the, actually first check out the 3/4 bath here, then we'll head down into the basement. So guys, there's 2 ways into the basement, through the kitchen area, through the inside of the house. But there's also a walkout basement from the back of the house as a way to come in. I'll show you that when we get done down here. But let's go down into the first room down here, guys. I would call it the family room. And it's heated by a wood stove. This space here is approximately 12 feet by 18 feet. And this wood stove does have its own flue. So it's, a lot of people say, is the wood stove and the oil-fired boiler in the same flue? This one's separate. So it's got its own, and the boiler's on the other side. It's in the utility room there. All right, guys, so you decide what you'd want to use this room for. Office, exercise room, library, study den. 11 by 9 is the dimensions here. We do have that small closet. Let's head over to the far end. I'll show you where the daylight foundation is, where the washer and dryer and utility. Hey guys, before we hit that utility room here, there is the furnace. The hot water boiler is in here, the hot water storage and the fuel tank here, and then there's the clean outs to the chimney too. So we don't have, the lights are out on this end here, guys. I think the bulbs are just out. But here's your washer and dryer. And we do have a small sink hooked up here. So if you're outside doing your gardening, you can come in through the basement, get cleaned up. And then we do have the electrical panel and all the well components over here on this side. And then we'll actually head out through this way so you guys can get a look at the backyard. So speaking of gardening, guys, Joey just pointed this out. There's a nice metal grate here. Your boots are muddy, you just kick them off there before you go in. So the backyard, as you can see, there's your entrance into the basement, but backyard, again, everything here is private, guys. And we have the remaining 2 sheds here. So storage space is not an issue. And then we'll walk around this side. I just wanted to point that. I know you've seen that earlier, the concrete pad up here. But we've got some nice slate. You can't see the maple leaves are coming off the trees right now. You can't see it, but we have a nice little slate area here. You could set yourself a couple of chairs. But up here, guys, we have that concrete pad, and the acorns are coming off the trees here. So hopefully I won't slip like I'm walking on ball bearings here, but So yeah, you could easily park a camper on this, guys. Now we're starting to pick up a little bit of shade from these big hardwood trees on the front yard now. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we'll walk around some of the 25 acres and give you an idea what that looks like. So I'm just behind the house here. There's a nice stand of oak and maple, some birch trees. Let's continue further out into the land. So I've walked off the back corner of the garage, and there's a nice trail running through here. I'm not sure if somebody over time has made a hiking trail or if it's the deer coming in here and eating acorns. But it appears that the property looks like there's some sort of power line or something coming up here in a minute. Just a bit of an opening here. Looks like maybe a brook down there. We'll walk down and check that out. Possibly there's a lot of traffic through here though, as far as gotta be game. Yeah, I would say this is a seasonal brook. A lot of drop of water in now, but let's cross that, see if we can find any tracks for you guys. It's been beaten right down through here though. Let's continue. I've made it to about the center of the property, and we'll try to pull up the map for you to see, but there is a power line. It's not a huge one, it's not a high tension line, but it does run through the property, and you can see that in the mapping. I'm going to skirt this for a little bit, head towards the back line, see if I can find any evidence back there of a boundary. Well, guys, I've made it to the back line, where I believe it is, and it's been a really easy walk through the forest here, a lot of mature trees. And I've come across this old barbed wire fence, and that certainly makes sense that this is the back boundary line. There's a ribbon on the tree. I'm just going to follow this for a ways to see what the forest does, but it's all, big oak trees, good sized maple trees. Just a really, really pretty forest, and the ground's been easy to walk. Let's continue on. So I'm headed towards the southwest part of the land, guys. And I'm looking out through here, and there's just some really big maple trees. You could probably tap a little some syrup here. We're going to head back towards the house now. Hey, if you're new to the channel, or if you've been here for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Hit the like button, subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. And hey, if you have a property anywhere in the state of Maine that you want to sell, we would love to market it for you, put together a nice promotional video, so give us a call. Hey guys, as we're walking around the yard out here, I just wanted to point out some local attractions and how close we are to some, you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere here, but we're like 2 minutes from the golf course in Bucksport. It's Maine's longest 9-hole course. And then if you like water activities, all kinds of that, you're less than 10 minutes to Toddy Pond. There's a boat launch there. So you launch a nice boat, put your pontoon boat in. There's a little sandy beach area. You can go swimming there. That's a 8-mile long pond, and great fishing for like salmon and trout, plus there's warm water species there as well. So we're also less than 10 minutes from Alamoosic Lake. Alamoosic Lake is about an 1,100 acre lake. There's a boat launch there. There's a picnic area, place to go swimming there as well. Also, Craig Brook National Fish Hatchery is there. And that is the U.S. largest, actually oldest national fish hatchery. So they take 7 different populations of endangered Atlantic salmon, and they're breeding it, rear the brood stock there, and they're using that to help recover the Atlantic salmon here in the state of Maine. And there's a museum there. So it's a great spot if you've got your grandkids or your kids, take them there for a field trip, and then take them swimming on Alamoosic when you're done. And then right from here, we've got, in the town of Bucksport, we have Hammond Lumber. So you have all your building supplies. And then downtown Bucksport, there is a cinema there. There's a movie cinema. And so you can catch a movie. There's a nice little ice cream place there. Another neat feature here, just minutes away, is Great Pond Mountain Conservation Trust lands. There's about 5,200 acres there to recreate on. So you have hiking trails, use your mountain bike. Wintertime, you could go snowmobiling there. There's small mountain peaks on the hike. There's some streams. Part of the Dead River is there as well. So a beautiful place to go, take the family hiking or mountain biking. And so let's kind of recap what we have here in Bucksport. The chalet, it's approximately a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and the additional rooms you could use for an office space, exercise room. The house was built in 1985. We have a little over 25 acres of land here, long private driveway in off the road. So if you're looking for privacy, this is a great spot. The square footage here, it's about total, including the finished basement, it's about 1,700 square feet, and I'm counting about 300 of that being in the basement. The price here is $395,000. This has been Peter McPhail with Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon.